Get him. Hit him with a pose. Yeah. Yo, what is up, guys? It's your boy, HD here, and welcome to another YouTube video. Alright, so in today's video, okay, we are going to be talking about my top 10 strikers in FC Mobile. Okay, so once again, before we do get into this video, I'm going to say it and I'm going to say it again. Okay, so everyone is entitled to their own opinion. So this list is just my top 10 strikers list. Now, whether it be cards that I have used or whether it be cards that I've faced against, these are just the top 10 that I think are pretty good in the game. And I'm going to be adding some cards in here just because of budgeting. So if I wanted to pick a top 10, I could just go with the top 10 most expensive strikers in game. Okay, but I'm going to be dropping down to some lower rated strikers just because of budgeting. And yeah, so without further ado, we are going to be getting to this video. Again, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. So if I'm listing a card that is on, if I'm listing a card that is not on your team and you think that card is absolutely insane and deserves to be in the top 10 list, and why I didn't put it in the top 10 list, well, that is okay. Okay, you can go ahead and use that card. If it's good for you, it's good for you. There's nothing wrong with using cards that feel good for you and you like to play with. Okay, going into our number 10. Number 10 is going to be none other than Heung-min. Okay, now I know originally in the start of the season, this card was a winger card. Okay, and he was insane. But now he is more of a striker card. Majority of his cards being released are striker cards. And yeah, this card is actually pretty decent. He's absolutely insane. I've been telling people for a very long time that no matter what version of Sun card EA releases, they're always good. Like they're actually always insane. Now he does have the 5-star weak foot, which is a plus over base pace of 100, which is really good. And looking at Heung-min Son, you think he'll be lacking more on the physical aspect of his game, but yeah, he does have pretty decent physical for a striker. Now, going into his traits, he does have long shot taker. So those of you who like to do power shots, and he does have the finesse trait. So if you're a finesse merchant, then this card is perfect for you. He does have that 4.5-star stamina, 4-star skill move. And most importantly, his work rate is high medium. So he does have some defensive end to his game. Yeah, he's a good card. Okay, I haven't tried out this version specifically, but I have used his, I think it was team of the season version, and it was very good for me. Okay, so this is going to be our top 10. Pretty affordable card as well. And now we're going to move into our number 9. All right, so our number 9, guys, yes, I am going to give it to Harry Kane. Now, I know I have told a lot of people that this card is very slow when it comes to like the striker role and the current meta in the game. But this version of Kane, especially this 99 version with the over 90 pace, is actually not bad. He is pretty decent. Okay, so I have played against this card, and again, he's not the fastest card in game, but he does have very good finesse and very good power shots. So if you're one of those people who like to do like tiki-taka, play low driven passes into your striker feet, turn, swipe to shoot, then this card is for you. Okay, so pairing this card up with another fast striker that can kind of cause a distraction or kind of cause a disruption. So maybe, using Mbapp, using whether it be Vinicius Jr., just another a striker that has really fast acceleration to kind of take the attention away from Kane, and then giving the ball to Kane, doing a lane chain, having a finish shot. His finishing is absolutely insane in this game. Yeah. So as you can see, he does have a lot of traits: long passer, long shot taker. He does have outside of the foot shot, and his skill moves are pretty decent. When he does the roulette, it does do a bit of a good stun. And again, the reason I'm giving him 9 is also that work rate. You don't find strikers in this game that have the high work rate. So yeah, this card is absolutely, he's a gem, again, with a 5-star weak foot. So yeah, he's actually brilliant, especially this version of the card. Now, I can't speak for previous versions, but this version of the card is absolutely insane. With a 4.5-star stamina and 4-star skill moves. Yeah, I think this card is worth a go. Very high physical and very high shooting. Insane card. Now moving on to our number 8. Luis Openda. Okay, now this card is a bit of a hidden gem. Not a lot of you guys know about this card, and some of the most jammier players know about this card. Okay, now if you are going to run a card like this, it has to be maxed out. Looking at his market value, he's only 22 mil. So his highest rated card will probably be no higher than 50 mil. Okay, so you have to max this card out to get the absolute best potential out of him. But this card is absolutely insane. That is why he's getting number 8. Yeah, I have used previous version of this card as well. As you can see, right when looking at him, high pace, high physical, pretty decent dribbling, and his shooting is not as high as Harry Kane's from the previous striker, but this is an absolutely insane card. Okay, so once again, every single striker card that you use has to have one skill and one skill only. Okay, all you need to do is add dexterity. Now, dexterity to me personally brings out the best out of any striker. So their acceleration, their agility, their reactions, all that stuff goes up. I don't really go for the shooting because I think anyone can finish in this game. And looking at his traits, he does have the finesse shot, the outside of the foot shot, and his skill move is the heel to heel. But again, his work rate is a high medium, so he does have a defensive end to his game. I know his skill move says heel to heel, but looking at his skill moves, it does have a 4-star. Now, the only downside for this card is he only has 4-star for the stamina, which isn't bad. Majority of strikers has the 4-star, so whether you want to bring him on as a super sub or maybe sub him out in the 60th or 70th minute or something like that, but this card is absolutely underrated and absolutely insane. I'm moving on to our number 7. All right, and our number 7 is another card coming close to this Lucas Openda card, and that is going to be Noah Okafor. That is going to be our number 7. Now, with cards like these, once again, to get their maximum potential out, you need to have them at least rank 5. Okay, rank 4 is okay, but that rank 5 is where you will really see their maximum potential. Once again, when you look at this card, he is 6'1", high pace, high physical. Shooting is a bit on the lower side with the 95, but again, every card in this game can finish. Once again, you want to put that dexterity skill. You're going to have 5 training skill points to use if you get the rank 5, so put it on dexterity and then maybe put the last one on shooting. Getting this card maxed out is about 30 to 40 mil. Now, looking at his traits, he does have roulette, and that is about it. He doesn't have any other traits, but trust me, guys, in game, this card is absolutely rapid, absolutely a beast, and he's very annoying to play against. Now, his work rate is also high medium, so he has some defensive aspect to his game. And also looking at his stamina and skill, he does have the 4-star stamina and the 4-star skills. Yeah, absolutely insanely jammy card. Okay, very jammy card. Now, moving on to our number 6. All right, so he's number 6 on my list, number 1 in my heart, and that is none other than Alexander Isak. I currently use this card on my main team, so instead of looking at these stats, we're gonna look at these stats. Okay, so Alexander Isak, I've been using this card since he came out. Okay, he is on my main team. That is why he's upgraded for me. He's number 6 on my list, number 1 in my heart. Okay, so absolutely insane card. Okay, don't even look at the stats. The stats are completely fake. I'm going to be honest. Every time I'm using this card, whether it be in stream or in my videos, a lot of people are like, why are you using Isak? Why are you using Isak? Is he not outdated? Is he okay, 6'4", pretty decent physical compared to his base card. Again, I went for dexterity before I went with the last skill on shooting. So this is what your cards, your attacking cards should be looking like, whether you have wingers, strikers, it doesn't matter. They should have dexterity first and then shooting. Okay, this card has been absolutely insane for me. As you can see, he does have the high medium work rate. He has flair, he has speed dribbler. So when you do those skill moves with flair and speed dribbler, he's absolutely rapid. Okay, especially when you do step over exit, when you do heel to heel, he's insane. His acceleration is insane. And yeah, so and his skill move is roulette. And he can play the left wing position. I didn't know that. I just play him as striker completely. His stamina is 4-star, 4-star. But in game, he can last me the whole game. I don't really feel his stamina. So I thought he had a 5-star stamina, but he does have a 4-star stamina. And yeah, so this card stats are completely fake, guys. I'm gonna be honest. And he's an absolutely insane card. So if you are looking for a cheap beast striker, he is extremely cheap. Okay, he is around 14 mil to buy his rank 5. So he's extremely cheap. If you're just looking for a cheap beast whether to bring him on or you're just starting the game, this is the card for you. Now moving on to our number 5. All right, I had to do it, chat. Number 5 is going to be none other than CR7. Now, with this card, or any other versions of his cards, a lot of people will probably put him top 3. He is not. He's not top 3. He's top 5, but he's not top 3. Okay? So, one issue I find with this card is, yes, his acceleration, his speed, just the way he runs on the ball. That running animation, to me, just makes him extremely slow. But don't take away from the fact that this card can do everything else. Okay, so I'm more of a speed merchant type of guy. So if your playstyle is a bit different than mine, then this card is obviously going to be higher on the list. But I'm giving this card number 5. Again, he can absolutely bang rocket shots. If you're doing finesse shots, either on his strong or weak foot with the 4-star weak foot, you can't really tell a difference. He's absolutely insane. And for a card that's 39 years old, yeah, beastly card, high physical, pretty decent pace. Shooting is high, dribbling is high. So he fits more in the Harry Kane category. So if you're like a tiki-taka type of player, where you can run him with another striker that's faster. So that striker is being the distraction. You play the ball into Ronaldo, you turn, do one skill move, have your shot and get a goal. So yeah, looking at his traits, he has lots and lots of traits. And finally, after a very long time, I just noticed that EA gave CR7 the power header trait. He never had it. He never had the power header trait. I don't know when they gave it to him, but he never had it. So he has power header, long shot taker, playmaker, and then he does have flair outside of the foot shot. So he has lots and lots of trait. One trait I wish he had was finesse shot, but he can still do pretty decent with the finesse. And then again, as you can see, for his stamina is 4.5, so almost 5-star stamina. In his skill move, he does have a 5-star skill move. So as we know, it's Ronaldo. And going into his work rate, he does have a high-low. Okay, so high-low is pretty good when you're running like singular strikers. You want your strikers to stay up high, or if you're just running a secondary striker that might have a medium-low or whatever, or you know, just like a striker who has like low, medium-low. So a high-low type of attacker, they stay a little bit higher, so you can find them as an outlet. So absolutely insane card. And yeah, CR7 is our number 5. Now going on to our number 4. All right, so our number 4 is going to be none other than Kvaratskhelia. I personally recently got this card, okay? For some reason, he's insanely good in the air. I don't know why, but he's just, for some reason, for being 6 foot, he wins decent amount of headers. And for a 6 foot guy who weighs less than me, 154 pounds, to have 93 base physical is mental work. Okay, so 101 pace, shooting is decent, dribbling is there. This card, he does it all, man. He's completely broken. I don't know, like, I don't know, but I just recently got him, and yeah, his finesse shots, his dribbling, his jamminess, he has it all, you guys. And for his traits, he has flair, finesse shots. Yeah, outside of the foot shot, if he had speed dribbler, yeah, this would probably be the best card in game. All right, so with a 5-star weak foot as well. And then looking at his stamina might be a bit of a problem because some people do say he gets tired a little bit quick. But he's lasted me up to like 70th, 80th minute before I kind of noticed and had to sub him out. And then he has the 5-star skill moves. And his work rate is high medium, so absolutely insane. He does do a bit of defending as well. And he does have decent standing tackle. But this card has shocked me. I've been watching him for a while. Like, I can see a card's stats and kind of see if they're good or not. And with that physical and the dribbling and pace, I've been meaning to try him out. And actually tried him out, right decision. He's actually shook me, and he's a very, very good card. Okay, now moving on to our number 3. All right, so number 3 for me is going to be none other than Kylian Mbappe, the striker version. Okay, we're not doing wingers here, guys. We're not doing wingers. The striker version, Kylian Mbappe. Unspeakable card. On whatever card. This card is mental. My only problem with this card is sometimes he's just too fast for his own good, that if you do a skill, the ball kind of goes a little bit further than what you want. Especially with me when I'm doing his heel to heel. Sometimes his heel to heel is like completely off and it's just terrible. But this card is good at everything else. High pace, high shooting, high dribbling, pretty decent physical for a 6 foot. And for some reason, he's also really good in the air. Now looking at his traits, as you guys can see, he has that flair and that speed dribbler. If you can find an attacker with flair and speed dribbler, just know if you do like a feint exit, heel to heel, if you do roulettes, these type of skill moves, they're more likely to accelerate at a higher level after you put the dexterity trait on them. So yeah, absolutely jammy card. Words are not enough. Absolute jammy card. Words are not enough to say how good this card is. But yeah, his work rate is also high-low. So if you're gonna run this card and CR7, you can see they're both high-low. This Mbappe card is absolutely insane, and I do think he is worth a try. If you're like wondering, oh, Mbappe or Henry, if you want to run a striker Mbappe, absolutely yes. If you want to run the left wing Henry, absolutely yes. They're both really good cards. But yeah, we're gonna move on to my number 2. Other than R9. Okay, so I'm giving the number 2 spot to the R9. Guys, I have faced this card, and when I say jam, I mean jam. This card, I mean jam. No words, guys, no words. This card is broken, mental. He would be number 1, but because of his work rate for me, with being medium low, I do think there's another card that I'm going to post up here that does take the number 1 spot for me. But no, this card is broken, bro. I honestly think these are one of the cards that might need a little bit of nerfing. He does have the speed dribbler. Thank God he doesn't have flair, because if he had flair, I don't know the amount of pace or whatever this card would have, but it looks like he has flair when he's doing step forward exit or doing heel to heel. And then his finesse shots are absolutely insane. His roulette is fast, 5-star skills. He's 6 foot, probably the highest pace in game when it comes to striker, highest shooting as well, have high dribbling. Like, what can this card not do? Okay, his stamina is almost 5-star, 5-star weak foot. Yeah, there's just nothing. The only problem is he's more on the expensive side, so that's the only thing. But other than that, I think this card is brilliant. Now again, this card might work for some of you, might not work for some of you, just because of his work rate, the medium low. Sometimes he doesn't move and you have to like trigger run him or something, and then just sometimes he feels a little clunky. But yeah, other than that, man, he's completely broken. When he starts accelerating, it's hard to stop. It's very, no matter what defending you have, he's very hard to stop. Okay, now we're gonna go into our number 1. All right, yes, guys, number 1 for me is going to be none other than Eusebio. Now, a lot of people are gonna, you know, be screaming and crying and, oh, but he's 5'9", he's too short. No, absolutely not. Get that out of here. This card is, he is on the level of R9 and more. Here's why. Okay, not only does he have high pace, I mean, not as much as R9, but he has high pace. He has higher shooting. He has decent dribbling, decent physical, but because of him being 5'9", he's more shifty. Okay, put dexterity on him. Looking at his trait, here's what I'm talking about, right? You see speed dribbler, you see flair. Now, he doesn't have the finesse shot, which would have been a bit of a plus, but he can still finesse. But that speed dribbler and flair, when they combine, this you guys don't understand. Strikers and attackers with speed dribbler and flair, they have a higher chance of just being more jammy in game for some reason. Although he has roulette and he also has long shot taker, so for those of you who likes to do power shot and whatnot, this card is for you. So that speed dribble and flair, along with the high medium work rate, just Eusebio has better work rate. Medium low is it's annoying, okay, because you're gonna have to do a lot of trigger running, and that's not fun. Okay, so medium low, with a card having medium low, it's kind of like they're either decent or they're either like good or they're just clunky in game, and you have to trigger run them most of the time to get them to move. But yeah, with the high medium work rate, that is where you want your attacker to be most of the time. High medium or high. And those work rates are what works best for strikers. That is why I think Eusebio is number one. Again, his stamina is almost full with the 4-star skills, and this card is just mental. I've seen gameplay, I've used his preview version, and trust me guys, again, R9 is a great card, but Eusebio is he's just a monster. Okay, now that we're done with my top 10 list, we are going to go into my honorable mentions. So again, remember guys, honorable mentions are cards who can replace any card at any time. Okay, so I did decide to put a bit of cheaper cards in here just so this video is for everyone and some cards are more affordable. So these honorable mentions, if it wasn't for the cheaper cards, these honorable mention will be filling these spots. So let's get into our number one for honorable mention. All right, so number one for my honorable mention is going to be none other than Macro Van Basten. I've used this card, I play with this card, insane. He's absolutely jammy. My only thing, once again, it comes down to his pace. Okay, so his pace and his ability to just accelerate after doing a skill. Okay, so high physical, again, because of his high physical and his stature of being 6'2", he's strong. He's very, very strong. Okay, and he does have that high shooting, and his dribbling is pretty decent. And yeah, looking at his traits, he does have flair. He's a team player. He has finesse shots, so you can see that in game when he has finesse shots. I think Van Basten has the best finesse shots I've seen in a while. Him and Kvaratskhelia, like Van Basten finesse shots are actually very good. Along with that 5-star weak foot, if I haven't mentioned it. Again, another down thing here is the medium-low work rate. Some games he feels like he's not moving at all, and then some games he's very good, and some games he just feels a little clunky. That is expected. Okay, I think that comes down to the medium-low work rate. But as long as you trigger run him, he is fine. Or run him with a striker who has a higher work rate, he will be fine. But yeah, that is my number one for the honorable mentions. Almost the 5-star skills, almost the 5-star stamina and the 4-star skills. Yeah, this card is very decent. I know his passing might seem a little low, but again, passing in this game is something else as well. So yeah, that is my number one for honorable mentions. Now we're gonna go into our next honorable mention. Okay, so our next honorable mention is gonna be none other than Johan Cruyff. Okay, I was gonna put this card in my top 5, but hear me out guys, okay? Because Cruyff can play the secondary cam position, and to me, Johan Cruyff is a natural cam, natural center forward, and not really that natural striker for me. He is a playmaker. Like, when you think of Johan Cruyff, you think of creative. You don't think of the Van Basten, the CR7. You don't think of, you know, the, he's more on a, like a Messi type player where they have striker versions, but they're not strikers. They're more of the creative type of attackers. That's what Johan Cruyff is. So Johan Cruyff playing the cam position for me would be more beneficiary than him playing striker. But him playing striker, don't get me wrong, he's absolutely insane. I do have this card, and I have him almost maxed out. He does have 100 pace, 100 shooting, 103 dribbling for base stats, and his passing is pretty high for a striker. No striker has that high amount of pace, maybe Harry Kane. But his physical is a bit on the lower side, but again, he is jammy in game. Looking at his traits, he does have flair, no finesse shot, kind of wild. He does have that playmaker outside of the foot shot. So yeah, Johan Cruyff is absolutely insane. And yeah, he does have almost a 5-star stamina and that 5-star skill. And then looking at his traits, he does have a high-low work rate. But I think if you're going to run Johan Cruyff, do not run him as a solo striker. I don't know, you know, if you're going to run him as solo striker, I would advise to not do that. Run him with a double striker or run him at cam. Okay, that's where he shines the best, and that's where he shines the most. Okay, now moving on to our next honorable mention. All right, so our next honorable mention is going to be, yes guys, none other than Lionel Messi. Okay, so Lionel Messi. Okay, so I am going to put him in my honorable mentions. Okay, so just this version of the card. We're not talking about the wingers. We're just talking about this striker version. Now, I haven't really played against or played with this card, but I have seen his gameplay. And I do think this version of Messi is a bit different than the others. It's different from the winger ones. This card is actually more controlled. He's more, he's a little bit more jammy. He's a little bit more of what I would expect a Messi card to be. Like his winger cards to me, his center forward cards, they don't really stand out, but this version does. Now, Again, these cards, once again, you want to kind of apply the dexterity on them. Again, you see he plays cams and center forward, so having dexterity on him while playing cam will be very good. Looking at his traits, he has finesse shot, launch shot taker. He doesn't have any flair. I don't understand why, because Messi is like, when he's dribbling, he should have speed dribbler. So EA, what are you guys doing? He should have flair or speed dribbler, because Messi is one of, if not the best at dribbling at speed. He's very hard to get off the ball when he's dribbling at speed. So I don't understand why he doesn't have it. Okay, absolutely insane. High physical, high dribbling, pretty high pace, you know, just one of the 100, high shooting. So I do think this striker version is worth a go. You can play him as striker. Make sure you're playing him as a double striker though, because these more creative players, playing them as solo striker is very hard. Yeah, so double striker or cam would be very good for this Messi card. And yeah, he's very jammy. I've seen his gameplay. All right, moving on to our final honorable mention. This is going to be our last card, guys. So if you guys are enjoying the video so far, make sure you're dropping a like and subscribing. Without further ado, let's get into the final honorable mention. All right, there we go. My final honorable mention is going to be none other than Fernando Torres. Now, guys, when I'm doing my honorable mentions list, I know I am kind of going, I kind of do it a bit out of order. But Fernando Torres, like I said, again, if I wasn't putting any cheaper strikers in my top 10s list, this card would be in there. I have used this card. I had him close to maxed out. And I will let you guys know, if you want gem, if you want a card or a striker that feels like 5'9", this is the card for you. This card he is probably one of the fastest card when you do a skill move, and he is strong. He can accelerate, he can finish, he can do it all. Okay, so if it wasn't for the budget barrier of me just trying to include budgeted cards into my top 10, Fernando Torres would be there. Okay, I know I'm giving him last to you guys right now, but he's insane. Okay, so I think this is going to be our fourth honorable mention. I actually might do one more, but looking into his traits, he has speed dribbler, finesse shot, roulette, high medium work rate. And when I say high medium, I think it should be high, because Fernando Torres is probably the only striker, or I don't know if I've used any other striker, that are very defensive. He's actually really defensive in game when I use them for me. He's a great defender as well. His standing tackle is really good. Going into his attributes, he does have almost a 5-star stamina and a 4-star skill. This card can play 90 minutes, no problem. I don't really see any problems with his stamina. Very high acceleration. Yeah, this card, there's no words needed for this one. He's absolutely insane, absolute broken. I get asked a lot if people should be using this Fernando Torres card, and the answer is yes, absolutely use him. He's insane. But if you're going to use this card, make sure you're either going for his red version or his rank 5. And yeah, now we're actually going to move into our final honorable mention. Our number 5 is going to be, our last and final honorable mention is going to be given to Lautaro Martinez. Okay, hear me out. Now, when I say given to Lautaro Martinez, I'm talking about this version. The 100 overall version is the only one I'm giving it to. I'm not giving it to the 99 version. I'm not giving it to other version. Just this one, the 100 overall. Okay. So I have found a crack in the code when it comes to this card. Okay. So they did increase his pace a little bit. High shooting, high dribbling, very high physical for a card that's 5'9", almost 100 physical, just base physical for a card that's 5'9". So yeah, this card is insane. Again, let's look at his traits really quick. He does have flair outside of the foot shot, no finesse shot, but his finesse are actually good. He has roulette. He does have the high medium work rate, so he's more on the defensive side. Now, would I run Eusebio and Martinez on the same team? Absolutely not. Okay, so the thing is, if you're gonna run shorter strikers, make sure you have a taller striker with them. Okay, so kind of like the yin yang effect, the opposite attract type thing. But this Lautaro Martinez card, he actually he surprised me. Okay, he's pretty decent. Stamina is almost 5 stars. Skill moves is 4 stars. But yeah, he's actually really good. Again, make sure you guys are putting dexterity on your strikers, so that way you're getting more agility, more acceleration out of these cards, and you will feel their jamming game. But yeah, guys, that is gonna be it for my top 10 strikers in the game plus 5. Okay, so once again, if your striker that you are currently running, like a Holland, wasn't mentioned, and you really like how, just know that, guys. Okay, this is my top 10s list. I even give you guys 5 extra strikers that you can use. So yeah, that is going to be it for this video. If you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one. Peace.